The animation studio that brought you beloved family classics has now introduced a streaming service, Disney+. And now, from the same community that brought you Reactaholics podcast, comes a new show where we discuss Disney+ content old and new. Disney+Pals. Welcome to Disney+Pals.
Start. Okay, here we go.
Can't believe Neil's on vacation. And he left me in charge for Disney+Pals. What am I supposed to do? I mean, I've never hosted this before. I mean, I don't know what to do. How does he usually do these things again? He does what, like some type of script thing? What is it like? I don't know.
It seems like he has a script, but the mystery of Neil is that he doesn't seem to have one. He kind of makes it up in his own mind. He comes up with a quirky joke here and there, and then he gets on topic with something. Sometimes he'll go completely off topic, somewhat bonkers, but then eventually balance will be restored. He gets back on topic. So something along the lines of that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still new to this. I'm still trying to figure out how you guys usually do these openings, so I guess maybe we should just go into what we're gonna do today. I will say my birthday was a couple of weeks ago, and I had to watch. Well, I didn't have to watch, but I
did. You challenged yourself to it. It was like a rites of passage. I don't have to do this, but I must.
I challenged myself, and I watched at least 30 direct-to-DVD Disney sequels. Some of them were good, and some of them were like bad. Mulan too. But, yeah, we don't talk about that one. That one's that's a disgrace. Mm-mm. 7 of them are in the middle. Well, we all know that Lion King 2 and Cinderella 3 are the best ones. So
I would put Fantasia 2000 in there. Yes.
I like Little Mermaid 2. Fight me. I don't care.
Fun fact: Cerise there is a Tara Strong fact. That makes her immediately biased towards Little Mermaid 2.
Oh, I'm like a huge Tara Strong fan. She's literally my favorite voice actress. Fight me. I don't care if it's a
rehab. Wide diversity. Wide diversity. You said it was her dream to voice act alongside Ariel.
Jodie Benson. Yeah, Jodie Benson, who was the original Ariel. So
I'm happy for her. I'm really happy for her to have achieved that. Now that I know about it. So okay. To commemorate your efforts, we both mutually agreed to talk about a particular Disney sequel, which is not the worst, not the best, but is all around enjoyable. And to justify this, I brought along a special guest of my own. What do you think of this, buddy? Well, I guess we're talking about this movie now. Oh yeah, it's me, Kronk. I guess we're doing Kronk's New Groove. So, we're doing Kronk's New Groove, the sequel to Emperor's New Groove, the groovy movie about the Emperor, Emperor's New Groove. That movie? Yes, that movie! Okay, gotcha covered. Okay, excellent. We're doing Kronk's New Groove.
Also, shout out to the first Emperor's New Groove movie. It's been 20 years since that movie came out. Wow. Oh. I can't believe that.
Really? Oh, yeah, so it has been. So I guess we're kind of celebrating its 20th anniversary.
In honor of the 20th anniversary of Emperor's New Groove.
Hey!
Born.
I mean, I suppose...
2000s kids.
Yay, 2000s kids! Woo! I mean, Emperor's New Groove is a hilarious movie. I mean, that era, despite the straight-to-DVD sequels, of course, they had a few gems of their own. Emperor's New Groove, I must say, is one of the funniest Disney movies I've seen. It never takes itself seriously. It's just, it never fails to make me laugh with off-the-wall humor and other stuff like that.
Yeah, you had David Spade as Cusco. You had Eartha Kitt, may she rest in peace, as Yzma. You had John Goodman as Pacha.
And then you get some guy named Patrick Warburton. You know Patrick Warburton, the guy who does the voice, the deep voice for all those muscular characters, all those characters.
And to all you Kim Possible fans, You know what I'm talking about,
Hey,
right?
that guy sounds just like me. What is he trying to do? A recess ripoff? Come on. Come on. What is he trying to do? Why would he do that to me?
Yep. So we're doing Kronk's New Groove, which came out 5 years prior to the original film.
A straight to video sequel to, of course, cash into the success of Emperor's New Groove, and it had some low reception, but I actually really like this movie. It's quite fun.
Yeah, I remember watching more of the second Kronk's New Groove than Emperor's New Groove, and I found it really funny. It may not be, up to the level standards as the first one, but it's still great. And the thing is, usually when it comes to like spin-offs or sequels that has the funny character be the main character, they don't work at all. Most of the time, it's awful. I'm looking at you, Planet Sheen. You done dirty to Jimmy Neutron. How could you? You may have been the funniest character in Jimmy Neutron, but you effed up. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes just because a character is funny doesn't always necessarily mean they should have their own movie. I mean, the main example I can think of is Minions. Now, I love the Minions from Despicable Me. I think they really elevate the Despicable Me movies, but they were so annoying in their own standalone movie because they just wouldn't shut up.
Oh my gosh, I actually remember every Christmas Eve, my parents and I would always watch like a Christmas movie or a Christmas show, and we ended up watching Minions in 2015, which I was
no.
Hey,
Why? Why?
My mom despises the Minions. I was like, Mom, do you hate any characters that are yellow? And I'm like,
aside from some,
do you hate SpongeBob?
or some character from The Simpsons,
or any character. Do you hate Wow Wow Wubsy?
Do you hate the lemon guy from Adventure Time? If you don't, then that's unacceptable. Unacceptable!
God.
Precisely.
So, yeah, Kronk's New Groove. So basically, Kronk's New Groove is about, and I'm going to summarize this to the best of my abilities. It's been 3 weeks since I watched that sequel. It's basically starts off with Kronk and saying that he's like disappointed. His father's supposed to be coming in, and like his father usually doesn't approve of certain things that Kronk does. And so Kronk basically lies to his father that, oh, I have this big, house on top of the hill. Oh, I have a wife and kids, and I forgot the third thing that he lied about though.
It's kind of funny. When I was watching this film again, I would have sworn there were 3 bits as well, because these types of stories and like television shows and stuff like that, they usually have like, what, first story, second story, third story, like the bottomless pit episode of Gravity Falls, or for an example. This one has 2, which is, watching back again, I thought, for some reason I thought there was more. That's really odd. Really odd.
This segment, the three different segments are kind of like what they did with the other Disney sequels, like Tarzan.
Oh yeah, so they did. They did that with Cinderella too. Yeah.
And Belle's Magical World, which we will not mention that one because that's absolutely one of the worst ones ever. I have no idea which one's worse, Belle's Magical World or Mulan 2. But I think Kronk's New Groove definitely does it better than those other ones.
Oh yes.
I mean, with like Tarzan and Jane, it's just basically like the TV series with like the first 3 episodes.
Some of these straight-to-video sequels were literally premieres for television shows, which I guess isn't bad, but
that were canceled. Like Atlantis had like 3 shorts, and that was supposed to become a TV series, but because Atlantis bombed at the box office, Disney's like, nope, we're canceling it.
I mean, if you're going to establish the fact that it's from a television show, at least mention it's from a television show. I mean, they did that recently with the Lion Guard, saying stuff for the new television show, and they would have several episodes per like DVD that they would sell, like Return of the Roar. They'd have like the first 2 episodes. Rise of Scar. Okay, here's the episodes based on Rise of Scar. So they tell you it's a television show, unlike what they did back then, which, because they didn't tell you it was a television show, many people had the expectations. Oh, dude, it's a new movie. Let's get into it. Oh, why is it lower quality, man?
Well, yeah, all the Disney sequels pretty much had lower quality to the original. I think some of them improved, others not so much. And then there's the Li Shang meme face, which
I mean, say what you want.
I'm pretty sure that's one of my sleep paralysis demons. So
I mean, say what you want about some of the Disney sequels, but some of the memes the awful movies come out with are brilliantly memorable. There's Belle's derpy face and Belle's Magical World. That's the one. She's reading a book and her eyes are looking sideways. And of course,
Belle's Magical World was supposed to be like a Beauty and the Beast like TV series, but they like canned it. I mean, say what you want to say about Belle's Enchanted Christmas. At least it had some effort into it, and also Tim Curry saved that.
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, whether he's in a good or bad film, is usually the best part of the movie.
He's amazing. There's just some actors.
His character looks creepy as heck. Like his character is so freaking creepy. It has no eyes. Oh my god, it looks so.
I mean, it does, but at the same time, they're black, they're soulless, and they're oh so expressive. Yes, that's right. Tim Curry is coming back in. Yes.
I hear Neil in my head. He's like, "Okay, we get it. Move on. Go to the story already." Sorry, Neil.
That's exactly what I would have been telling Neil. Actually, I guess the roles have reversed. We are carrying on his legacy, all right. So that's pretty much setting up the standards for Kronk's New Groove. This is a movie which is a straight-to-video sequel centered on the comic relief character. This should fail in every single way. I mean, it had low reception, and yet I still liked it. How so? Well, the description of it says, Kronk cooks up a get-rich-quick scheme to impress his father, but when things go wrong, Kronk kicks into comical gear and discovers the true riches in life are his friends, and being true to your groove. So we open up with the Disney logo, the music from the previous one, and it once again says, long ago, deep in the jungle, brackets, again. And already it's being aware of itself.
It's breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, again, there's jokes like that. I mean, I know a lot of people say this film's a bit of a hit and miss, but I find it quite charming. So we pan over to the cafe that Cusco and Pacha were in. We see it from a distance, music suspense building up, dun, 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 and then suddenly we just see this explosion of cheese, which the cause of that we'll find out later on. Then we just hear... can I do it? Can I do it? Okay, Kronk, I'll let you do it. There's no other person better than you do. Okay, yep, that's me. Grab me where I go. And then you just zoom in and you see me covered in piles of cheese. I'm carrying around a cheese. I know it's cheesy, but that's the way the cheese was splattered all over the place. So I introduced myself and how I saved the Emperor's life and got a fine career with the exception of that cheese explosion. And there's a joke where they accidentally show me as a baby, similar to how they accidentally showed Cusco as a baby. And then they showed me with the scouts. So I've reformed myself, and then I just established I'm doomed. And I just wish I was in the better place with a teddy bear. I make a teddy bear out of cheese, so really hamming in that cheesiness there. So then it just pans up, as I say, that earlier that same day, and then we just transition to the musical sequence. So, Charisse, what do you make of the introduction there?
Oh, you're funny.
I know.
The music, the intro music is really upbeat and catchy, and it's a lady singing. I don't know who the lady is.
Um,
I try to figure out what her name is, but she sounded
um,
fabulous.
well, basically, the way this lady singer is designed, it's meant to be a spoof of the male singer from the previous movie when Cusco's established himself, and he says, "Theme song guy." You just see this random disco guy come out of the cake, go, "Oh yeah, he's the son of all the nation. He's he's the Alpha and Omega agency," and he's got microphone and sunglasses. So this is the female version of that guy. It's short in stature.
For some reason, I thought I felt like I was getting like Hercules vibes from that. I was like, are we in Zero to Hero? Bless my soul.
Okay, was on a roll. Hey, don't you mean Kronk was on a roll? I think just replace the lyrics from Hercules to Kronk. I mean, I kind of have the same physique. Maybe I could be a demigod like Maui, but who am I to talk? Anyway, so I'm delivering these delicious meals to people. So delicious that the mere scent of it makes people hurry up with their work, while they'll be making their carpentry really fast. And are those guys who make the stone wall, which is somehow still glued together when they make it as a makeshift table.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They must be made of a very special type of glue. Did you happen to get some ingredients from Yzma's lab, perhaps? I mean, oh yeah, I mean, that's potential stuff. I mean, I used my what I learned from Yzma's lab for good cause, but either that or it was something else. I don't really quite know how stone walls can stick together so easily like that. Don't you need like cement and a glue? Do we even have access to glue? I don't even know what time period this movie's set in.
That's a good question. It's really modern, but at the same time, like, make up your mind, guys. Are we in the, like, what civilization are we in? Okay.
I mean, it's clearly a Peru, Latin America kind of location, but it's probably reasonably contemporary because there's funny images where they travel around the world in photos at the end credits. So we'll discuss that later. So we get this upbeat, groovy.
Zero to Hero.
yeah. Kronks Zero to Hero. Indeed, in a literal sense, they even show in the cinema that on flashbacks of the original movie how Kronk, and I quote the song, did a total 180 on the shady lady, and then taught children how to talk like a squirrel. Squickety squicket, squeak, squeak, squeakin'. Yes, so Kronk had a change of heart in his conscience, thanks to the angel devil he has. And ever since he backstabbed Yzma, he's reformed himself and has come to a better life. I mean, he's always been a good guy at heart. He's just not that bright most of the time.
You realize he's in the room, right?
Oh, no. I mean, I've acknowledged that sort of thing. I acknowledge I don't have very luminescent paint on myself, so it's okay.
Okay.
Okay, very good. So they're all singing, they're all dancing. Kronk is even kind enough to offer a nice tasty nut for the squirrel friend, who also gets into the groove just from eating it. So what do we learn, kids? Eat your food, and you'll do some groovy dancing.
Stay in school. Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. Maybe some kind of a drug-induced thing. I don't know. But either way, food will give you the energy to dance. That's a running theme in this movie, come to think of it. So the lady pretty much sings Zero to Hero in front of the camera. And then suddenly we get a pause. Kuzco, of course, just happens to bombard the movie and just say, "Hey, it's me!" And look at that movie that was all about me, but it's not all about me anymore. It's about Kronk. something I actually thought was quite funny watching it again. He reveals a poster. This is his movie, not mine. If you look closely, Birdwell is in the background, so that's an early tease as to what's coming up. So
Yeah, that second was actually my personal favorite one.
um, yeah, Kuzco literally just paused the movie just to establish that it's Kronk's movie. Yeah, he's I mean,
Breaking the fourth wall.
breaking the fourth wall. Kuzco's still a bit egotistical, but he's established that he's had a change of heart, as established in the previous movie. Go check it out. He sits back, gets his popcorn, yells, "Action!" And I think the clipboard said, produced by Kuzco, directed by the people who made the movie. Their actual names are on the clipboard. Again, genius wall break. So we continue playing, and Kronk has established himself as a well-beloved person. I mean, who doesn't love food? So he's clearly formed himself, and Pacha and his family and their newborn baby have come along to come have a nice pint or something like that. Or nice, well, not really a pint, but drinks. Otherwise, Mary and Pippin would be there. They established that they've set a few business things, and then Kronk show off his happy delivery boy. It zooms in, and then it goes like, "Happy delivery boy will not be under the consent." Apparently, we established that the children have been interacting with Kronk, which is what we'll be looking into later. They have a toast for Kronk. May you live long and happy until the day you die. Just some random person looking like the Grim Reaper comes in. Everyone's scared to death. Takes off his screen and says, I've got this important llamagram. Oh, okay. The Grim Reaper thing was just a toucan. Llamagram. Thank you. Kronk opens it. He's shocked. He makes an excuse to get into the kitchen, and he panics. And then he comes up with an elaborate plan to use spoons to dig his way out, go into the sewer, and I quote, disguise himself as something like Little Bo Peep, just to get away from his dad. That is quite elaborate plan. I mean, it's not that original. This monster named Mike Wazowski probably came up with it first. Yeah, he said something along. I believe he came up with the idea of digging spoons and then releasing it into the wild, if I remember. So yeah, I opened the cupboard and there's no spoons. I mean, I'm pretty much doomed. And my angel devil come in. And they're set to try to comfort me. Yeah, I find it interesting, having watched the film, that the devil said, if you'd listened to me, we wouldn't have been in this mess. You could have had everything you wanted, but no, you have to get yourself into this mess. Having watched the film, it actually makes sense why they're actually saying that, with what he's been up to and the choices that he made in the duration of the movie. So Kronk says, be gone, you two. I don't want my conscience speaking to me. Poof. And then he just goes back to panicking. The waitress lady asks what's wrong. Kronk establishes that it's his father's coming for a visit. And he says specifically that his dad says, I look forward to seeing your new house and your new wife that you've managed to gain. Looking forward to seeing you. Kronk said, I did have them. I literally had them. But over a course of events, I lost them. Now he's going to get mad at me because, of course, as you established, Cerise, he doesn't approve of certain things that he does. In fact, Papi's going to be so scary. I love how Kronk just owns several photos establishing the scariest parts about his dad.
Firmer eyebrows and the scowl.
The scowl, the cold shoulder. He had to take photos of those specific motions. And apparently the last feature was just so scary it didn't deserve a photo. The nostril flare of total rejection.
Rejection.
I mean, don't underestimate the nostrils. I mean, a nose can be quite a scary thing. I mean, have you seen Lord Voldemort? I mean, he doesn't even have a nose. That's what makes him scary. Fear is established in noses. Fear is in the noses. Please remember that. I'll pray for you if there's any nosy situations you're getting into. Don't worry, I won't be nosy myself. Wouldn't want to induce fear like that. But thank you, Kronk. Thank you for your sentiments on fears and noses.
So now we go into flashback.
Well,
and
time after time. Kronk established that he's had a fascination with cooking ever since he was a child. He might try making muffins for squirrels, but his dad didn't approve of that. And all Kronk ever wanted was a big thumbs up from Poppy. Yes.
Yes, we can all relate to seeking parents' approval.
Seeking the parents' approval. That's basically the end goal for Kronk throughout the duration of this movie. So he's become a henchman, and then he redeemed himself, and then these events happened recently. He tries to cook up the meal, but then he just literally goes, okay, I need to get this out of my chest. Please sit down, hold on tight, grab a cup of tea or something. This is going to be a long explanation. The lady's just like, okay, here we go. So Kronk, and then flashback, explains his first scenario and how he gained and lost his house. He was delivering goods and delivering meals to everybody. He has these cardboard boxes. Again, what time period is this set in? And he delivers food to the retirement home, where we see the same piglet-sounding old man from the previous movie alongside some of his other retired colleagues. And Kronk is asking for funds for his big house. They offer him like a gold coin or something like that, but and then Kronk gives them nice food, and they make a few gags like, it's a meal I can get my teeth sinked into, and his teeth falls into the meal. Yeah, you get it? Because he said it was a meal he could get his teeth sinked into. You see, his teeth, they fell out, and they really got into the meal. You get it? Oh yeah, I'm glad you did. That's the way we intended with this movie. Thank you for establishing that once again, Kronk. Meanwhile, we see a purple telescope spying in and hearing in on their conversation, overhearing that Kronk's trying to raise enough funds to get a new house for Poppy, and that the elderly people, of course, are missing their youthful days. Well, you've outgrown yourselves. I hate to tell you this, but tough. So the telescope just goes back. I love how she has a telescope that ridiculously long, spying the conversation. It just zooms out all throughout the city. I love those kind of gags. So we get into a dark alleyway, into this little tent hut thing. We hear a laugh. If you've seen the previous movie, you know, of course, who it is. Kronk goes outside.
Underrated. Criminally underrated. I will be doing a Disney villain tier list, excluding Pixar villains. I already know where I'm putting her. I already know exactly where I'm putting her.
Yeah, she's...
Stay tuned for a tier list ranking.
Yeah, stay tuned. So yes, speaking of her, Kronk sees a gold coin, asks if anyone's dropped it, goes to pick it up, but it's attached to a string, so it goes whip, getting Kronk's attention. Not being too bright, he does not suspect that it's being pulled by something, but so he falls down the stairs, gets into the dark alleyway and commentates that, can I do this again? Right, so I'm in the dark alley, and I gotta complain that if there was something like a sign. I hear a cat meowing and running off. As there's a warning saying, beware of the cat. Oh my goodness, it's her! Run! So Kronk crawls into the little tent thing. Then we hear an all too familiar, soothy, jazzy, kind of silky voice going, "Hello, Kronk."
Hello, Kronk.
And of course, it's Yzma, voiced once again by Eartha Kitt. May she rest in the heavens.
May she rest in peace. She was
so
funny. She is so.
She was an amazing singer, and she, the Emperor's New Groove franchise was not the only, her only Disney role. She was also Madame Zeroni in Disney's Holes, another amazing Disney movie.
She was also Catwoman.
She was also Catwoman. Yes.
I still have her version of Santa Baby on my phone.
Hey!
Every single year, she is such an icon. She has an amazing voice. I love you.
It's just one of those iconic voices. It's one of those really distinct voices. You can tell it's her.
It's like the same thing with Vincent Price. He voiced Daddy in The Great Mouse Detective. She's been in so many horror stuff. And and also like Michael Jackson's Thriller. He's that ominous, creepy voice.
Yeah. Vincent Price. That's actually a pretty good comparison. I was going to point out to general popular voices like Morgan Freeman, Christopher Walken. Like you hear them, you know it's them. You can tell Eartha Kitt when you hear her. I was also going to mention the song she sings, which is good news for Eartha Kitt, but we'll get to that later. Kronk is happy to see that at least she's not a cat anymore. Yzma,
minus the tail.
Minus the tail. I heard a few people complain, why didn't they make her a cat entirely? That would have been hilarious. Well, she is a master of alchemy, and she had to find a cure at some point.
You know who else is a master of alchemy? Varian. Varian.
So, Yzma stroking her tail, having some new feminine, cat-like movements, establishes that she has changed herself, and she's reverted to, reads a note on her hand, I've reverted to helping others.
It's like Mulan, where she wrote like
except it's for Yzma. It's literally just to have any sort of human decency. Yzma goes up to Kronk and he says, going up to him, I have a proposition for you, zooming into all her wrinkles. I have a proposition for you. Kronk goes, ugh! A business proposition. Oh, phew.
Okay, we have to mention this movie has so many innuendos. Oh God, there's so many innuendos. I'll get to the one later with Birdwell.
Oh yeah, I mean, we make it entertaining for the older adults in the film. It's a family picture. I guess we'll just move on before it gets any more, birds and bees sort of deal. Let's move on. Yzma tells Kronk to follow him to get the full extent of the proposition. And we once again go to the gag of, pull the lever! And Kronk goes, of course, it's the wrong lever. It's like, that lever? I worked the kicks. Let's just check it. Pulls it. And they go into a spoof of It's a Small World, but it's all cat-oriented. I guess Yzma's got an affinity with cats now. I heard other wares that she's also affiliated with snakes, which is also kind of relevant here, kind of associated with evil still. So Yzma still kind of cringes. Why does she even bother making this if she's just gonna cringe through it? And she just goes, wait for it. So it's a water slide this time. It goes, Kronk goes, this is even better than your last one. And Yzma's still just going, just got the cringe face. And then they soar, they land. Yzma establishes her new secret lab, and they even have a photo at the end of the ride. And Kronk goes, oh man, I have my eyes closed. Yzma opens up this cupboard, again, cat-oriented. She has affinity with cats for reasons. And she establishes that she has found the secret to eternal youth, answering the prayers of all the locals, bringing eternal youth to everybody. And she specifically has them standard and diet. Eternal youth in a bottle, zooms in. Standard and diet.
Or in hell, we still last.
I mean, you never know. Someone might need a diet version of the eternal youth.
You can order them now for $50.99 plus shipping and tax.
Yay! Yzma calls it Yzma's Young and Beautiful. A long title, but hey, it's got a catchy tone to it.
If only Mother Gothel knew about this, she could have used it instead of using Rapunzel.
Oh man, that would have been something. Just get addicted to the potion. That would have solved the dilemma indeed. So Yzma suggests selling off this potion to the people at the retirement home to give them a taste of to be young again. And Kronk is suspicious, so he walks off. And there happens to be a way out. But then Yzma, having eavesdropped, that kind of rhymes, eavesdropped on Kronk, says,
oh, it's a shame that you'll never get that big house on the hill and the big thumbs up from Poppy.
Zooms in, Poppy. And then Yzma has a button specifically for Kronk's location. And now for this part, I just want to say, I'm glad that they finally got Yzma to have her own song in some Emperor's New Groove stuff. Maybe they did that in the television show as well, but Emperor's New School. But it's really great to hear Eartha Kitt singing, because Eartha Kitt is famous for her singing career. And I guess now is the time to mention the original conceptual version of the Emperor's New Groove, which was originally called Kingdom of the Sun. Now, it was originally going to be a darker, grittier, and more epic sounding film, but they changed it because they thought it would be a bit predictable, and they thought that the Prince and the Pauper kind of thing was just too predictable, and they wanted to have a change of tone compared to their previous movies, which apparently didn't do well at the box office at the time. During this conceptual process, Sting and Eartha Kitt and company made a song for Yzma called Snuff Out the Light, which you can look up for yourself. It's on the original soundtrack, and it's surprisingly catchy. The song was about Yzma's original villainous intention to team up with the devil to block out the sun to gain eternal youth, because the rays of the sun took away her youth. It aged her. So she reckons by blacking everything out, she'll have eternal youth. So that's what that song's about. So that song was not in the final version, since they simplified it.
From My Little Pony.
So now they finally do have Eartha Kitt / Yzma sing a song, and it's called Feel Like a Million. It is quite a show number with Yzma wanting to help Kronk, or specifically, help me to help you to help him. Help me to help you to help. I need gold, Kronk. I mean, you need gold. And the song itself is quite catchy. Establishing the house, establishing Pappy's proudness along the lines of, hey, 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 I'm in the Milky Way on this lovely day, and I feel like a million rising round. This cat is back in the house. I'm taking my big thumbs up, and I feel like a million. So he gets Kronk to sign the contract. They get a spring thing to go right up, but they're immediately in 1930s clothing to establish the salesman. So Yzma says that Kronk's familiar with the people, so he'll help her sell it. So Yzma says, "Step right up, folks," and they have a springboard specifically up to the retirement home. Yzma's a clever mechanic and all this. Yzma's young and beautiful. She established the potion, and then the older people are like, "All right, let's purchase it." And then they get a bit suspicious at first, and they say, "Does it work?" And Kronk goes, "Give me a moment. Does it work?" Yzma goes, "Of course it works, you idiot. Of course it does, you idiot." Although he says that out loud in front of people. Then they just say, "All right, works for me." And liquid gold. So they drink up, and it seems to work. They feel a lot better.
Or does it? Or
Yes,
does...
so we get a bit of a show number with all of them in different clothing, and Yzma having her show number. Hey, 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 I'm milking on the Milky Way on this lovely day, and I feel like a million. So Yzma has her show number, goes into a whirlpool, shakes herself off like a cat. And then, of course, she reveals what the potion actually is. She just says, "Suckers!" It's a dream come true. She just goes to her pipe. "I'll just get random snake oil, sell it to the people, and establish it as a youth potion. I'll be rich!" So, in case that wasn't obvious enough, because there's children watching this, Kuzco, once again, pauses the movie, just like he did in Lava Form, and he says, do you know what's going on here? Okay, so here, ominous snake oil specifically says Yzma laughing like the demons of the abyss or something along the lines of that. Then it's something, "It's a scam! Come on! It's a fake, people! She's selling snake oil! Wake up!"
It's a scam? Oh no.
Red alert! Red alert! Green alert, maybe. Maybe green alert? I don't know. So then Cusco says, "Oh, so you figured that out already, huh? I guess you didn't predict it." Yikes. And I thought that would be foreshadowing to later on where they show off the old guy's ear hair. But watching it again, it was specifically Yzma's armpit hair. So Cusco goes like, "Yikes! That's gonna give me nightmares." Another sleep paralysis demon, perhaps.
I have way too many sleep paralysis demons. Oh god. Oh, no.
The latest one, if that is what I think the latest one for Cusco, that is Yzma's armpit hair. Just let that speak for itself. So Cusco goes, "Okay, let's go." "Guy in the booth! Now!" They continue playing it. Yzma. Wait a minute. I just realized something. Was Yzma driving a car? She was driving something. It's a wooden little wagon car. You know those little forklifts? That's what it's called. It's a forklift. And I suppose in Emperor's New School, they established that robot work is possible with stone robots and wooden robots. I remember watching that episode, so this must be somewhat contemporary. Yeah, that must be a car. They have access to cars.
Maybe we shouldn't question the time period.
pedals and wheels. Again, I've only just noticed that.
Anyway,
So she sells off the potions, and the old people buy it, and they finally raise enough funds to sell off the retirement home to give to Kronk, so that they can make the new his new house, which is quite an amazing house, actually. Kronk was like, he just has enough money to do that now. Don't you just love it when you have enough money where you don't even need to construct your house? You can just go, done.
if only that was real. If only we could have done that. If
Yeah,
only we could use, heroes, little microchip thingies to build stuff.
Right. So this house is amazing. As Kronk writes in his letter to Poppy, he establishes that he's got some squirrel slippers. He still has the symbol that he has from his own household. He has like a swimming pool. He has scooters and enough space in his house to ride on said scooters. And the best part is that he has his own train to ride on. I've actually been on something like that. There's actually something like that here in Inverness in Wynn Park. As long as you're careful not to drag your legs off, you can ride on this little train in this little train track. And it's really fun to ride those kind of trains. And this train is specifically called Pancake Junction. They have access to pancakes. And he even set up a couch, and he has established his business. And he also has 2 new assistants who he keeps mixing up with Tina and Marge. Yes, Marge and Tina. They look identical, so he keeps mixing up the names. Marge, Tina. No, I'm Tina. That's Marge. So he's happy. He's well happy with what he's managed to achieve. But something goes wrong. He gets intel from his friend from the retirement home. He runs in naked. Completely naked.
For kids.
A family picture, with the exception of his hat, I believe. His big Gandalf bluish hat. And Kronk and Martina are understandably shocked. And they say, hang on, wait, time out. Where are your clothes? What on earth? The old man says, oh, no, he sounds like Piglet. Oh, we sold our house to you, remember? Oh, dear. I'm pretty sure that's the same voice actor. Yeah, so.
Wait, Jeff Bennett. I know Jeff Bennett.
Yes, Jeff Bennett.
He's Dexter's dad on Dexter's Laboratory.
Ah, right. Yeah, so of course there would be well-established voice actors in this sort of production. So, so basically, he, in his current position, has run out of funds. And so he's asking for more snake oil. And speaking of Gandalf, the old man suddenly starts going crazy and grabs the potion and becomes like Gollum. Fairly appropriate depiction. Due to Kronk's realization, we get the old man going, we must kill that. So whatever it is, just like the One Ring, it's powerful, it's addictive, and may or may not make you live for 500 years as a cave-dwelling meth addict who eats fish and plays riddles only to lose that drug addict and go on a many-year hunt for that addiction only to encounter 2 people of your same race and then go off to a journey to a volcano just to try to get your addiction back.
Oh, Jeff Bennett's also in American Jack and Jake Long.
Right, that's another Disney show. So Kronk is confused, but then his angel comes in to establish, okay, look at this guy. And he gets out these quirky sciencey goggles out and makes him look at his friend. Okay, look, this is before, this is after.
Look at your friend carefully. Look at him carefully. Before, after. Before, after. Do you see any difference?
Kronk, not so sure. He goes, can I see before again? Kronk goes, no, I don't see any difference. Oh, doesn't see any difference. That's when it hits him. Kronk comes to the revelation that there's no difference at all because the potion didn't work. And the reason it didn't work because it was a scam. And it was a scam.
Placebo. You know, to quote Eddie from It, they're placebos. They're
bullshit. So Kronk realizes that he's been scammed. They've all been scammed. Well, specifically, the old people have been scammed, and Yzma has managed to profit because Kronk helped her to do it. And then the devil comes and is going,
oh, come on, look at him. He's happy.
He gets crazy addicted, and then starts getting cold, and the devil goes like,
oh, okay, I guess you win.
Something interesting to note, in the previous movie, the voices, whoever voiced the angel and devil, they swapped voices. Did you notice that?
No.
Yeah, in the Emperor's New Groove, you hear that you're not going to let him die, or you're my shoulder angel. Then you hear the high pitch like,
you don't listen to that guy. He's trying to lead you down the path of righteousness. I'm going to lead you down the path that rocks.
And then they switch voices with the angel going,
don't worry, I'll be here for you.
And then the devil going, if you don't listen to me, then none of this would have happened. But no. Kind of interesting. I wonder why they switched the voice act. I guess they needed their turns. Just a little trivia. They switched the voices for Emperor's New Groove to Kronk's New Groove. Something I've always noticed that.
I didn't realize that. Maybe it's because I haven't watched it in a while. Maybe that's why.
Watch those scenes again. Watch Emperor's New Groove, then Kronk's New Groove. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So the devil goes, okay, you're right. You win. Angel goes, Angel won. Ding! Oh, yeah. So Kronk goes up to his friend, gets a blanket over him, and gets him to look at a mirror and goes, Yzma's potion was a fake. And it was my fault because I helped her. I scammed you. The old man forgives him, gives him sort of a pat on the back. And then the old man suddenly realizes something. Due to the funds, Yzma is going to be partake. What's that thing you do when it's a political movement? Partaking, engaging. I've forgotten that word.
We're not good with politics. This isn't a Make sure to go vote, guys. It's 2020.
Yeah, so she's trying to establish herself. Yeah, that's the term I'm going to use. Establish herself as the new emperor. And then I think Kronk makes a commentary saying, I didn't know we had a system that worked like that. So, of course, everyone's going, Yzma for emperor! Yzma's being a bit egotistical. It's all about me. This franchise is full of egotistical people. I'll be on top of the world. People are starting to play the music. Old men banging barrels that are covering them for reasons. Guess they're having a party, so why not? And they're having the party, getting Yzma to be the new queen of the town or new empress, just like she was in the first one.
President.
And then,
vote for Yzma president.
President, Emperor, democracies, or however it works. So suddenly, Kronk and the old man comes in, crying out, Yzma's potion's a fake! Yzma goes, Kronk! What are you doing? So they reveal the truth to everybody. One of the ladies goes, oh, look at that old man! He's as strong as I've ever seen! She goes like, so then Kronk and him established that it hasn't worked. It was just snake oil. Old man shows off the grotesque details. I got ear hair, moles, onions. I'm still old. The other just started to realize, hey, he's right. I'm still old too. I'm still old. And that lady with it.
Go get him, John.
And there's another joke. there's another joke where he goes, "I'm still owed too," and the lady here is like, "Ah, don't even." So everyone's calling her out. Eva says, "I think I should go." Pew, runs off, and then the old men, all the old men and ladies decide to go chase her down. Hit it, ladies! And then the men take a scooter, a bicycle. One of them literally rides a unicycle to chase her.
I feel like I feel that chase scene. I felt like I was in like Nickelodeon's Rocket Power. Does anyone remember Rocket Power? I felt like I was watching Rocket Power when watching that scene.
Yeah. So Yzma, slapstickly style, falling down, oof, 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 leaping over llamas, camels. They do some awesome stunts on the rooftops. We even get a choppy slow motion bit with the old man on his skateboard. Yzma falls down a wagon full of apples. Guessing apples and gravity get along just so well. Am I right, Isaac Newton?
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Oh, wait. It took me a while to get that. I see what you did there. So, they catch up. We all catch up to Yzma. Yzma says, "Back off or I'll jump," but you can't jump because, it's a long way down. Why would you jump there? Maybe because you want to get eaten by piranhas and crocodiles that happen to be there. So which even allows Yzma to go, "No, wait, that can't be right." So Yzma's got nowhere to go by this point. But then the old men realize something. Wait a minute. We chased her all the way down here by ourselves. And they realize, I guess there's still a bit of energy in us left after all. So Kronk clearly says, "Oh, I guess you should thank Yzma for scamming you." Oh, wait, no, that can't be right. Yzma's just going, yeah. Awkwardly going, yeah. I guess there are good things that can come from evil intentions, after all. Much like the suffragettes coming from World War II, that kind of deal. So regardless, they decide to keep pursuing Yzma, but then Yzma has her potion out, which she described as cough medicine in an earlier scene. Says, "Don't let me use this." Kronk goes, "Establishes your cough medicine?" "No, my most powerful potion ever. When I drink this, you won't be able to lay a finger on me." She laughs and then she coughs. Guess she needs cough medicine after all. And then they go, "Get her!" Yzma drinks the potion. She turns into her most powerful form ever conceived.
What's up, Doc?
A bunny rabbit. The joke is, she's just so cute, they wouldn't dare touch her. Oh, as you say, "See, I told you so." An eagle just snatches her. We don't see her for the rest of the movie, apart from the ending. So that's you would have thought, oh, she's going to turn into a tiger or something like that, but no, bunny. That's just really funny. So Yzma's dealt with. Hopefully she won't. Hopefully she'll come back. But either way, the old man decided, all right, back to the streets. Remember, we sold our house to you. Come to think of it, where did Kronk live before getting that big house? Must have been just a regular house, maybe.
So that was the end of the first flashback.
Well, actually, not yet. So Kronk actually realizes he's got to do something. This is the reason why he loses the house.
Right.
So the angel and devil come back. The devil says, "Oh, come on. You don't want to give the house back to the old people." Oh, no, wait. The angel establishes, give the retirement home to the old people. That'll give them a place to live. The devil goes, "Don't do that. You live there. You need to get rid of your achievement. Come on. You didn't really scam these people." Kronk chokes devil, almost squeezing his eyes and mouth out. Kronk rightly goes, "Yes, I did. and I'm gonna make up for that. So Kronk is quite rightly listening to his conscience a lot more. Good on you, Kronk. Listen to those angels. So he gives the house back to his new house to the old people. So they've got a bit of an upgrade, actually. Kronk leaves. Tina and Marge are crying because they're upset to go, but they've established some new managers of the jungle. That was a bit of a weird joke. And then Kronk goes, "Oh, don't worry about me. Don't cry for me, Argentina." Sort of a play on Evita, going up to the banister, and then back to the present. The lady goes, "You didn't." So then he describes, so that's basically how I earned and simultaneously lost my house. But even worse, there was the incident where he earned and lost his one true love.
We get to go camping, y'all. Let's gather around the campfire and King August.
He says, "Okay, just roll the film." Gets the white film thingy down. It looks like it's good. Accidentally puts on a film that was like a deer camp, probably some kind of stag party clip he was having, but obviously that's the wrong clip. So gets the right clip up, and it's him and his junior chip. What were they called again? Chipmunk Scouts or something like that. It's some.
Oh yeah, the junior chipmunks at Camp Chipamunk.
Chipamunk, that's it. So they consist of several children, particularly Pacha's two elder children, Tipo and
Chaka.
Chaka, that's the one. Thank you.
Who is actually voiced by Toph herself from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Really?
Mm-hmm. She did it. Fun fact, actually, she did it. The voice actress of Toph did a lot of direct-to-DVD stuff for Disney.
Huh. Really?
Yeah.
So what else was she in?
Shoot. I think she was in one of the. I think she was in. I think Tarzan, one of the Tarzan ones, and then something else. Can't remember.
Obviously, she was in something else. I mean, our beloved Melon Lord had to have worked on those Disney sequels.
I'm gonna look her up. I'm gonna look her up on IDM. Let's see, what else did you do, honey? Ooh, Meet the Robinsons, Night at the Museum, Finding Nemo, Over the Hedge.
Meet the Robinsons. Oh, she was in a cinematic Disney release. I don't know what character she must have played there. What was
Nora?
What was Melon Lord doing?
Toph, Brother Bear 2. She was in Brother Bear 2. She played young Nita, and then older Nita was played by Rapunzel herself, Mandy Moore.
My, Melon Lord's been busy.
Twinkle Toes.
So yeah, she voices Chica. Or Chaka, thank you. So they're marching towards their destination for camping. Kronks, whenever he's not cooking, has established himself as a chipmunk scout leader. In the previous movie, it's established he can speak squirrel, and even taught children how to speak squirrel at the end of the movie with a begrudging Yzma in cat form. So we're seeing him in action in his other profession, where there's a few photos establishing that they've had a few victories in the local competitions, and they say they're going to start off, and their phrase is "keep the focus on fun," and the children have also caught on to Kronk's other catchphrases, like "right." I think it was the beginning was specifically, if it's wrong, it wouldn't be right. Right. No, wait, if it wasn't right, it would be wrong. Right. Tipo catches onto that. And they are going to keep the focus on fun, but then they notice that a rival scout troop may be catching up with them in the competition. Scout camp run by a leader by the name of Birdwell. Established with a bird symbol.
Yeah, Birdwell is voiced by Tracy Ullman. She is a British-American actress, comedian, singer, writer, producer, and director. Reading this off of Wikipedia. Don't trust Wikipedia, but you know, I'm just reading it because I just want to. As I don't really have time for this. Neil
Wikipedia, Wikipedia is more guidelines than actual rules.
Yeah.
Welcome to the internet, my dear viewers.
So, yes, I'm sure she is a wonderful person. So, they are going to have a pool competition. We see this Birdwell in action. She's very strict.
Very proper. Like she's obviously because you know when you think of British, they're very proper and
British. British, very proper. Chin up, Mary Poppins, y'all. Marching to and fro, and then getting themselves in the right position. One of them's a bit scared to go in the pool, not for her own sake, but her doll's sake. So Birdwell is all in good spirit, has a conversation with the doll. It's quite heartwarming. It's like, all right, we'll get you up to it. So they get them to do a synchronized swimming with judges watching. The Kronks kids are establishing their own swimming parts. They're going to prepare for a cannonball. They have extreme music like cannonball, cannon. And we cut to and fro from Birdwell's team going dun, 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 cannonball, cannonball.
So yeah, they do cannonball and water rises and it's just basically all over the other team.
Yeah, just practically just dominating over them.
And the worst thing was the doll got wet. The doll wasn't supposed to get wet.
Not the doll.
And the
Anything
doll
but the door. Although, during this sequence, Kronk also has his first encounter in person with Birdwell. They say that Kronk has specific descriptions for Birdwell's features, like she had like knees or like elbows like doorknobs. She had like rough ankles and her eyes. And he says, they say the eyes are the window to the soul. Her eyes were more like secure locked down gate security. So whatever turns you on there, Kronk. They greet each other, and they specifically have a very elaborately synchronized chipmunk scout greeting, which is apparently quite rare. They're showing their dedication, and they're quite fanatical about it. They established that they're both quite amazing for that sort of thing. Kronk introduces himself, much to his horror. Birdwell establishes herself as, well, Birdwell. Kronk gasps. And then, wait, you're Birdwell? Birdwell says, yes, I'm Birdwell, but you're a girl. It's probably a different expectation. So Kronk's team goes like, cannonball, splash! Of course, you explained earlier the doll got wet. Would you care to explain what happens next?
big no.
No,
Like,
that's it.
Birdwell just basically scowls like a Kronk, and then the two of them like, all right, we shall become enemies. And so basically, I guess like Kronk, their team broke the rules, so Birdwell's team gets the point, and then like it's just like a whole montage between the two camps the two teams to see who gets like the most points and stuff. From like like kayaking boats to like making like sandcastles or something. I don't exactly remember.
There's a few gags like that. The team build a really well put together rope bridge, but somehow Birdwell's team come up with a bridge akin to the San Francisco Bridge.
The Golden
uh,
Gate.
or something of that formation. Another gag where Birdwell is sailing with her team. Kronk's team are sailing, but they're using Kronk as a boat.
I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat.
They have other stuff like that. I love how, despite the fact that Birdwell's team got the point ahead of Kronk's team, they still sort of catch up with a point, and then they just both go, ugh. Like, they win, but then it's a draw, unless there was some kind of penalty finale, or perhaps I don't need to read the rules in order to understand that, because maybe it's just a case of get more than 6 points in order to get to the finale, and if not, it's a draw or that kind of deal. But I always find it funny when I was a child that, oh, they won first, oh, but now it's a draw.
Yep. So they're
also,
like, okay, yeah. The next time, the night before, they're like, okay, we got to get ready for the cheer competition, the camp cheer competition part, and all the kids are like so exhausted.
yeah,
and they're tired.
clearly exhausted. Also, just to take a break, just so you know, Squidjedi, Brooks, just texted me to say hello. Hello, Squidjedi. Shout out to you. We did a Lion King episode together. I'm sure that'll come out sometime soon. Thank you very much for the shout out, Squidjedi. So anyway, back to the movie. The kids are just tired, exhausted. The fun has been drained out of them. One of them just says, I want to go home. And then Kronk says, the best recipe for fixing this sort of dilemma, raisin bread. That'll get them into good spirits. So he's getting the ingredients ready for baking raisin bread, but to his shock, he arrives at the kitchen to find that Birdwell is there, clearly grumpy with Kronk forming dough out of his face, and then just smashing it as she's molding it. Kronk is observing, then his guardian angel comes out and says, look at her, she's upset, distraught. You know what we should do? Go up to her and just apologize. Kronk's about to do so, then the devil points something out. Hey, look at that. He's got your eggs. What's that? Zoom into the eggs. Kronk's eggs, property of Kronk, do not touch except for Kronk. They specifically have letters for that. Kronk has his own eggs.
Yeah, Birdwell pulls like a reverse card, and she's like, "You stole my raisins."
Wait, what? Raisins goes like, raisins. Birdwell's raisins, property of Birdwell, do not touch except for Birdwell.
So they fight over the raisins, and then the raisins spill all over, and then they have like a sentimental moment. They're like, "Oh, I was trying to make raisin bread for the kids because they're exhausted, and I want to make sure they're, make them happy and, pep them up for the competition and stuff." Kronk gets an idea. Is like, "Hey, maybe we should both make raisin bread for the kids," and it comes to my favorite part of the movie.
Yes.
This is my favorite part of the freaking movie. I freaking love this part. Oh.
It has that music. A specific dance sequence, which is brilliant.
not gonna play it anymore because copyright issues.
Copyright. I'll be sure to get.
I do enjoy that dance montage. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. But there's one part, again, like I mentioned, there's a lot of innuendos. The bread, like, oh, how did I not realize this as a kid watching making the bread? I'm like,
Was this intentional?
are they having sex while they make? No.
I mean, I don't know if it was intentional, but the way they were interacting with each other prior to making the bun in the oven.
Oh.
So.
Oh my gosh. And actually another fact, there was a similar scene in extremely Goofy movie where Goofy and the librarian like dance to Shake Your Groove thing, and I'm like,
Right.
oh yeah, they both do like some disco and stuff. I was like, yes. I was like, I told Calum I played over that scene, the scene with Kronk and Birdwell, like over 10 times. I was so into it. That was literally my favorite part.
That's the best part of the movie.
The best part of the movie. Oh my god, I freaking love that part. Oh.
It's for lack of a better word, it's groovy, it's fun, it's just energetic.
And fun fact, you'll hear Let's Groove at the end credits.
Apparently that song was also in the trailer for Emperor's New Groove.
Oh.
Let this groove get you to move, all right.
Yeah, it's Let's Groove by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Thank you, Dad, for introducing me to the songs from the 70s.
Yeah, 70s. Good music. Don't listen to today's pop music. Just listen to the classics. And you can thank Kronk for that.
So, anyways, Kronk and Birdwell, they make goo goo eyes at each other, and
Yeah, you heard us right. I helped introduce 70s songs to our future generations. You can thank me later. There's also an homage to Lady and the Tramp. Way to go there, Disney. There's homage to...
there was many references during that dance montage. I think there was a reference to, like, Alien, and yeah, there was a reference to Alien and like,
George of the Jungle, or maybe Titanic, Queen of the World. They have
Queen of the World.
They have Michael Jackson with Kronk's got glittery mitten oven glove. They do a Thriller dance. They
do the Watusi and
Kronk may or may not have been doing Saturday Night Fever with
yeah. Again, 70s was the decade of disco.
Maybe this film is set in the 70s. That just makes sense. It all makes sense now. No wonder it's so groovy. And if you're going to retcon this, people, you're going to throw off our groove. If you do that, you throw off our groove if you say it's not set in the 70s. I'm sorry, but he said that you would have thrown off the people's groove. So after that amazing scene, the best scene in the entire movie, I mean, say what you want, that I think anyone, whether they love or hate this movie, can agree that's the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, like I said, it's basically that. I always love the dance scenes because I used to be a dancer, so I always love watching dance scenes from anything.
I'm a bit of a dancer myself, actually. If you ever come here to Scotland, I'm usually the best person in the Cayley party dances. They describe me as quite bouncy, and during my teenage years, like late teenage years, just for fun, I would practice dancing to Michael Jackson just to get those moves right. So now my dancing is enhanced like 10 times. So yeah, I'm a
dance just because. Just
yeah.
Give me a beat, I will dance to it. Give me a beat.
If I ever find a girlfriend, I'm gonna do the choreography that Kronk and Birdwell do when they get the bun in the oven. I believe it went along the lines of arm, arm.
Oh
They
my
do like
god.
that,
That's
and then they get their arms like that, and then you slide them under and toss them up to get the disco ball like that. Something like that. That would be amazing.
oh my gosh. So yep,
So
they make 2 eyes, and then Kronk falls off a cliff or something. I was like, wait, what?
just
Yeah.
slapstick. Just after a romantic moment that Kronk accidentally has a bit of an accident, but of course he's fine. And it's so moving, even Kuzco has to stop the movie again just to establish the fact that he's touched. Yeah, really touched, really moving. Either that or Kuzco really should have got his marriage enabled in the last movie. Either way, he's sad.
Yep. So now they give the raisin bread to the kids. It's almost time for the competition, but Cheapo has a little Kronk moment with his two sides.
His own angel and devil.
His own angel and devil show.
Everyone has a conscience. Everyone has a conscience, as explained with Tipo. In an earlier scene, we forgot to mention Kronk gets so competitive that in his anger, he encourages his young chipmunk followers to do, and I quote, whatever it takes to win.
Whatever it takes.
That should have been a song in itself for Kronk. So Tipo has his own angel and demon having a little back and forth argument. Devil accusing Angel of being a crybaby. The devil establishing, Kronk said do whatever it takes to win. Tipo, right. Whatever it takes. So we cut to them. The Kronk and Birdwell establish the competition has blinded us from having the fun that we were supposed to be having. We got a bit carried away. So we're just going to drop that now. We're just going to have fun now. But Tipo is missing. So Tipo didn't make it to that meeting to get his raisin bread. He is busy forming itching powder made from like a chili and stuff like that. And he's going to put it into the grip flower stuff that they would use.
Just like this, like dust, like the clap, and then
Yeah, you know how like gymnasts would often get themselves into sort of dust just to grip themselves properly onto the equipment. They have that. And Tipo is planning on putting itching powder right into that. So they do their competition. They say, go team. Kronks points out that there's been a bit of a misspelling. There's no I in team. But Birdwell... Yes, Birdwell sees as an excuse to have more goo-goo ice. Kronk even rushes off with a love heart-shaped cloud particle, of course. So there's several trampolines, and there's music going on. Kronk and his younger chipmunks do their dance sequence during somewhat of a break, or just a bit where Tipo's not really needed. Tipo backs off, gets the itching powder in, joins back in. They succeed, and then Birdwell says, don't worry, if anything goes wrong, I know you'll be there to catch me. She applies the dust to herself and her teammates. I love how the dance sequence starts off. It's like Asian music, very slow, like getting into the motion, just very serious, very slow. Everyone's just like, what? And then it takes a while. One of the children said, "Say what?" And then they do the dance. they had to have that in slow part first before they went to the fast bit.
We gotta draw them in first. Just do something slow and then make it boom.
Never underestimate slow pacing. Samurai Jack worked for a reason in this regard. So Kronk establishes we're doing a good job, and Tipo says, yeah, I agree, because we're totally gonna win because you encouraged me to cheat. Wait, what? Yeah, I put itching powder into the flower stuff. Kronk goes, oh no, and he sees that they're starting to get irritated and itch each other, and they're gonna fall down. Kronk tries to stop her, but it's too late. Things go chaotic. And Tipo gets caught. Birdwell says, "How could you?" Kronk behind the tree, hearing all this, goes, "What should I do?" And then Devil points out, "Just leave it as is. You got your girlfriend. Come on. You can gain something for once." But they said Tipo could get severely suspended.
Well, Anna from Frozen 2. Just do the next right thing.
So Tipo could get suspended. So Kronk once again listens to God's calling, not his own, putting others' needs before his own. And so he tells the truth to Birdwell and says, "Okay, look, in my anger, I accidentally encouraged Tipo to cheat. Birdwell is sinking this all in, and she quite rightly gets angry at him and says, don't call me. Don't call me that. In fact, don't call me ever." She marches up with her troopers, and Kronk only has the mitten gloves that he gave her, which was specifically to fit her hands. And he establishes, "She's gone. I only have these gloves that I gave her to remind me of them." Her waitress bumps into him, and they happen to get burned in the oven just to add salt into the wound. And so those were the two stories to establish why Kronk is in the conundrum that he is, and why he should do something about it. You could come up with something, maybe before Poppy arrives sometime later, but then the waitress points out, or sometime soon. Indeed, his wagon is coming up over the horizon. And Kronk's panicking even more. He's like, "What should I do? What should I do? What should I do?" And the waitress goes, "Just tell him the truth." And then he makes...
She pulls a genie on him. "Tell her the truth."
And then Kronk pulls off a Jack Nicholson saying, "I can't handle the truth." Get it? I think that was a pop cultural reference on purpose, except it's kind of on the reverse. Instead of "you can't handle the truth," it's "I can't handle the truth." It's okay, Kronk. It's okay. I understand. It gets fixed, right? I mean, oh yeah, it gets fixed, but there's some really awkward stuff to add to the comedy. That's the way we make this movie. Indeed. So what happens next? Kronk goes up to Patch and his family, and establishing that he needs to come up with a ruse to convince his dad that he's got a house, got a wife. He wants to have a Mrs. Kronk. He's trying to come up with something, but Jordan points out, "Too late, he's here." So Kronk suggests to Patch's wife, "Okay, can you please just pretend to be my wife just for a few moments?" And she is hesitant at first, but she goes along with it eventually. Meanwhile, Tipo, Achaka, and Pacha run off to get others to help. Tipo later tells the old man in the village to do something. Old man is determined to do something. So we get the footsteps, sort of like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, only to find that Poppy is, despite being quite intimidating, is fairly short in stature.
Short people.
Don't underestimate short people. Just me by my size, do you? So Poppy goes like, "Kronker, Kronker." Kronk is hiding under the table. "Kronker!" And Kronk goes, "Okay, yes, coming. Very nervous.
Poppy.
Put her there, son. Hey, put her there, son. Gives him a really hard handshake. We've all had that one handshake in our lives.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Poppy is voiced by John Mahoney. Mahoney? John Mahoney. Yeah.
What else has he done?
Let's see. He's done Moonstruck, 8 Men Out, Say Anything, Barton Fink. Ooh, he was on Broadway in the Chicago Theater. And he won a Tony for Best Feature Actor in play for his performance in The House of Blue Leaves.
House of Blue Leaves. I should investigate that.
Oh,
So-
he was also in another Disney directed DVD, Atlantis. Oh, he was actually in both Atlantis 1 and 2. Well, the TV series 1. Yeah.
All right, good to know. Good to know. So he comes in. Patch's wife plays along with Kronk's idea to be his wife, and he also established the fact that he's got a nice house. Points to Patch's home on the top of the hill, and Poppy at first seems quite impressed. And he's going to put that big thumbs up that Kronk's been waiting for, only for to be interrupted by Pacha, who's coming in, posing as Mrs. Kronk. But they quickly try to get her, no, this is my grandmother. Yes, and to get Pacha, just go it. So Poppy says, like, no wonder. No wonder you married this person. Huh? I see where you get it from. And then thinking, Poppy's being flirtatious with Pacha in drag, which is, that speaks for itself. But then Poppy notices, wait, where's our dinner? But Kronk, of course, knows that his Poppy doesn't approve of his cooking, but Kronk has to cook. So he finds excuses to run off and cook something quickly. He specifically he just remembered that everyone's coming in a queue because it's some kind of special meal night or something like that. Something just to make the scenario more intense than it should be.
Yep, hijinks ensues.
Hijinks ensues, yeah. Like faulty towers, that sort of deal. So he tries to, he remembers, I used to cook this cheese, but okay, I'll just cook the cheese in this pot. Just put it in hot. People get impatient. Put it very hot. Where's it? Just put it to boiling hot. So they have a conversation, but then he goes back and forth in the kitchen, and then Poppy comes into the kitchen. Kronker, what are you doing here? I was just talking with the chef. I'm sure you'll establish something. Then, to make things more ridiculous than it should be, the old man comes in drag, establishing himself as Mrs. Kronk. And then Poppy gets confused. Hang on, wait a minute. She's Mrs. Kronk? And she's Mrs. Kronk? Yeah, that's exactly right.
Squidward, you're Squidward, he's Squidward, she's Squidward. Are there any more Squidwards?
To make things more complicated, the other old men from the retirement home come in nappies and diapers, claiming, Daddy! Posing themselves as fairly creepy babies. Those are my children. And then more people come in posing as Kronk's wife, including Margentina. At this point, Kronk might as well make up the excuse that he's practicing polygamy. That's the only way he could probably get out of this.
And then Cusco comes in
drag. Boom, baby! Even goes up to the camera. You like how I hogged myself into the movie? So again, Cusco serves no purpose in this movie other than to establish I was the main character in the previous movie. And because I'm egotistical, I'm gonna hog some particular moments. Like how I hogged myself into the movie. And it's like if Stan Lee came in and said, do you like my cameo flash? So Cusco, rest in the heavens, Stanley. So Cusco goes up to Kronk, goes, how's it going, hot stuff? Kronk suddenly remembers something. Hot stuff? Wile E. Coyote gag. Uh-oh. the boiler's about to blow with cheese. Kronk just runs up to the kitchen. Everyone gets blown by cheese. I love how Cusco's pose prior to being covered in cheese. It was like something like that. Or some kind of extravagant pose before getting covered in cheese. Then Poppy yells, Kronk! And then we cut to the beginning. Yeah, this is where things come full circle. To quote that one song that was in that fantasy movie about a lion. It was the song went along the lines of now we're back to the beginning. It's just a feeling. No one knows yet. It was something to do with a prince. But anyway, I'm pretty much doomed. And it pretty much leads to a sentimental moment where I learn to tell the truth, just as it is. I mean, it can be painful sometimes, but you just gotta be honest. Thank you, Kronk, for honing in the moral of the movie. So, Poppy's waiting outside, everyone's cleaning up, and Kronk establishes, okay, look, Dad, I did have that house and the wife. I did, but I lost them. All these people, none of them are alive. These old people are not my creepy children. That house in the hill, that actually just belongs to my friends over there. I did have them, but I lost them. I failed you, Father. Then Tipo encourages Kronk to think, well, count your blessings. You still got us. And then Kronk says, oh, you're right. I mean, I've still made a good career out of my cooking. I've got all these friends and family, so I've already got everything I need. So then Poppy says, oh, yeah, you don't. Gets up his hand. Kronk's going, oh, is he doing it? Is he doing it? Is he doing it? Bing! I'm proud of you, son.
Yay!
Big thumbs up from Poppy at last. 2 big thumbs up from Poppy. 10 big thumbs up from Poppy. That was a gag from Eddie Izzard when he was voicing that koala from The Wild behind the scenes. Anyway, so everyone's happy now. Kronk told the truth, and he finally got his father's approval. Thank God. So, but to make things even better, Tipo, Tipo's calling out for help was not entirely in vain. Apparently, Tipo says, I brought along a friend. Kronk gazes onwards to see that Miss Birdwell has returned, and in a nice dress too.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, and she doesn't have her hat on. We forgot to establish that.
They forgot to establish that, the fact that she does not have her hat. The twat. Anyway, so yeah, her hat's quite signature to her, but she's wearing a flower head crown instead. So they celebrate with a dance once again. Michael Jackson dancing. Cusco is hogging the limelight again. The female singer comes back. Poppy, so strong he picks up Kronk and Birdwell at once. And they all have a dance off, and then should be true to your groove, as the ladies suggest. Then we zoom out. Yzma, as a bunny, has seen the hawk chick eggs hatch. Oh, how cute! It's a slapstick scream, and and then the credits roll. And once again, we have Groove Tonight covered by other people.
Yee! And that's Kronk's new groove.
Although, watching it again, I looked up the wiki for this movie and about Kronk's life, and there's some more in the end credits. Apparently in the credits, there were some photos of what Kronk and Birdwell did together, so which I completely overlooked. So, because, if you're like me, you probably just, all right, movie's over. Straight to the main menu, onto the bonus games and other behind the scenes footage. Yay! Now that I'm an adult, I'm just thinking, oh, I missed out on this stuff on the end credits because I looked up the wiki and it has this stuff in the end credits. Time to watch the end credits stuff. So in the end credits, Kronk and Birdwell did indeed have a Jewish marriage. They are married now. They they took off on this big fancy ship, like a cruise ship. They have some bits where Poppy and Patch's family are with them. Kronk and Birdwell in their honeymoon went to Paris with the Eiffel Tower. They went to Venice with the boats. There's an image where Kronk, Birdwell, Poppy, and Patch's family are in front of the Disney castle in Disneyland, or something like that, wearing Mickey Mouse ears. There's other pictures like that. They had a fun vacation. There's a last photo where Kronk and Birdwell exchange a kiss with each other. I've also noticed something else during the music credit list. That you have Eartha Kitt singing "Feel Like a Million," and I've also noticed the track "This Land" by Hans Zimmer, which I think, wait, that's from The Lion King. Which scene had the Lion King soundtrack in it? I don't recall hearing that track, which, in case you don't know, goes along the lines of do 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 do. I'm trying to speed things up a bit. Then something on the lines of where in the entire movie was that song being played? If you know which scene it is, please let us know in the comments below, because I was thinking, I looked at that and I thought, I know that track. I don't recall hearing that in this movie. Weird. Yes, that is Kronk's New Groove. And many people, including Neil, has said that this movie didn't need to exist at all. I mean, if you remove this movie, this ultimately doesn't add anything to The Emperor's New Groove. It's just a little fun story about the comic relief character. But on its own, I think it's quite fun.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I mean, I haven't watched that sequel in like years, so rewatching it is actually pretty fun.
Yeah. A bit surprised and sometimes shocked by some of the other things that I missed, as we clearly established in our description and analysis of this entire movie. Yes.
Yeah.
But
And in case you guys were wondering where we put Kronk's New Groove on this Disney sequel tier list, we put it at good.
Yes, that's right. We, me, Squidjedi, and Charisse and Neil had a call where Charisse was in control of establishing where the Disney sequels should go. I even took a screenshot of it just in case something like this would be mentioned. So we had on the absolute bottom, we had
I labeled it like the bottom was like burn it with acid, and we put Belle's Magical World.
Oh, actually, speaking of which, I think we'll bring in.
Oh. Uh-oh. Hello? Cal?
But at the same time, they do believe in God. They do believe in God.
Very good. Okay, Charisse should be here any moment now. We were currently talking about Kronk's New Groove, hopefully. Okay, Charisse, hello?
What just happened?
I'm sorry. I literally thought by pressing Squidjedi's call button, I thought you would immediately join in. I made a mistake. I accidentally abandoned you there. Sorry about that.
Oh,
So-
are you, okay.
Sharice, I just saw Tenet.
Tenet, the
Um,
new Christopher Nolan movie.
I don't think you'd be interested in it, but if you love imaginative storytelling, then I do recommend it.
I love Christopher Nolan, so I think he's a revolutionary filmmaker. So if I get the chance, maybe I'll see Tenet like tomorrow or something like that. It
And
looks
I
amazing.
saw it in like Dolby Cinema, so like the sound effects were really like coming off of me. It was like a real treat experience. Probably like the second best experience I've had all year.
My, that must be amazing. So me and Charisse were discussing a film that's probably not as good as Tenet. We were discussing Kronk's New Groove before we were going to establish how we placed it among the other Disney sequels. So, Squidjedi, now that you're here, what do you think of Kronk's New Groove?
I remember seeing Kronk's New Groove like when I was like a little kid, and that's actually. Well, I do remember seeing it when I was like a little kid, and then later, like in life, maybe when I was in the 3rd or 4th grade, I rewatched it, and I haven't seen it since. So my memory of it is hazy. I do remember like they were trying to get the approval. Everyone, like I mean everyone, was trying to get the approval of Kronk's dad. Was trying to help.
Yeah, we literally mentioned the hilarious hijinks scene of almost everybody establishing themselves as Kronk's wife, and the hijinks that come with that, followed by a celebration ending. I mean, a lot of people say that it's not that good, but me and Charisse agree that it's actually quite fun.
Yeah, I did remember. And by the way, a lot of direct-to-DVD videos are really into Earth, Wind, and Fire because I just saw like Extremely Goofy movie like last night, and they were playing like Let's Groove Tonight, like
Yeah.
Yeah, Charisse actually mentioned that as we mentioned that scene from Kronk's New Groove, the best scene. Yes.
Oh, actually, Shake Your Groove Thing is actually by Peaches and Herb, not.
Shake Your Groove thing was. Oh wait, what?
Yeah, Shake Your Groove Thing is by Peaches and Herb, not Earth, Wind, and Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire did Groove
But
Tonight.
they really were into like old pop songs, weren't they?
And quite right too. I mean, it's about time people introduce kids to groovy music that's really good and it gets you to dance.
Yep.
And so, with that said, we were just talking about how we place Kronk's New Groove because I was just mentioning that call we had where we spent an entire session just placing the Disney sequels in the rightful place. For example,
I thought you guys were doing a YouTube video, were you?
oh, we're currently recording one right now, but I was just going to say Beauty and the Beast, Belle's New World, Mulan 2, and Hunchback of Notre Dame 2 were at the absolute bottom of absolute
Burn
wastage.
it with that.
So am I now part of that video?
Yes, you are. So we got Fantasia 2000 and what was it? Was it?
I actually have the list right here because I saved it. So like we said, Burning with Acid was Belle's Magical World, Hunchback 2, and Mulan 2. Bad was Tarzan and Jane, Fox and the Hound 2, Pocahontas 2, and Cinderella 2. We had a lot of mehs on here because the majority of the Disney directed DVDs were kind of meh. So like we had like Brother Bear 2, 101 Dalmatians 2, Tarzan 2, Little Mermaid 3, Beauty and the Beast Enchanted Christmas, Return of Jafar, Bambi 2, Jungle Book 2, Lady and the Tramp 2, and Atlantis, the TV movie series thing, which I'm still trying to figure out. That's a directed DVD thing.
And then we had something along the lines of the good category.
Which was Stitch. Not Leo. Oh yeah, Stitch the movie, Kronks New Groove, Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch, Extremely Goofy Movie, Aladdin King of Thieves, Little Mermaid 2, and Lion King 1.5. And then the best, we had Fantasia 2000, Rescuers Down Under, Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, Cinderella
fine?
3, Peter Pan, Return to Neverland,
Oh
and
yes.
Stitch.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't finish like Return to Neverland when I first saw it. Like, I never got to see the full of it, but I did see the ending scene. I do say it is definitely worth being.
your earphones.
Oh yeah. Hello, whoever's there. Yeah, Return to Neverland is. I mean, most of the Disney sequels are a bit meh, as we've established, but other times they can be really good. I can even make the argument that some of these sequels are better than the originals. Yeah, I know, I said it. Like Fantasia 2000 and Return to Neverland. I think they're better. Yeah, fight me.
I will say I like Cinderella 3 better than the original
Animation might be bad.
Cinderella.
I don't think that the famous celebrities, James Earl Jones and like those two comedians like trying to like it's just a moment that they don't taking this seriously. Like, remember back in the original Fantasia where they actually took it seriously, where there was like Leopold was like out there like taking everything most
I mean,
integrity.
Fantasia 2000 is not exactly perfect, but I think it's got better pacing and is better suited to family audiences compared to the first one. But the first one's still a masterpiece as well.
Yeah, like obviously my favorite one from the first one
That's
was
the problem technically with animation that always has in America. In America, that's the problem, that it always has to appeal to families. Always.
I mean,
like
I can hardly blame them. I mean, families love this sort of thing, but you're right. There are times when it needs to be more ambitious, and Fantasia 2000, in many regards, were some of those special occasions.
yeah, like I said, my favorite like Fantasia stuff was definitely from like the original, that is, was obviously Sorcerer's Apprentice and Night on Bald Mountain.
Oh yeah.
I can't forget about Chernabog, which, by the way, like I said, I'm in the middle of actually trying to rearrange the Disney villains, not excluding Pixar villains, but the Disney villains, because Neil gave me a task to do tier lists on certain Disney topics, like the Disney princesses, and we already did the Disney direct-to-DVD sequels, so now I'm in the middle of doing Disney villains right now.
And you said that Yzma was going to be put in there.
Yes, Yzma is definitely going to be put on there. I just searched it up and I just found something on the Chairmaker website, and I was like, okay, I'm going to rearrange all these stuff and I'm going to title them. Let's just say the titles, I'll have you guys guess later on in the near future whenever we do this type of video. So on the bottom, I put like have not seen / wait what, because like the wait what is, I was like, wait, why is this? Okay, whatever. The very bottom of the barrel is pathetic. The quote, poor unfortunate souls, the Ursula farce, like, pathetic.
Pathetic. Oh yes, according to Fox
Okay,
Majestic,
and then
yes.
I put, and then the next one is mediocre. And then I have fair is. Get it because it's a reference to Snow White, who was the fairest.
Who's the fairest of them all?
Yep. And then the next one I got twisted. The next one is twisted if done right. If done right. So you might see a twisted Disney villain on that one. Or two, maybe.
Alright, so okay.
And then the next one is criminally underrated, which you can probably guess which ones are definitely going to be on that one. Maybe. And then the second part before the top one is iconic and malicious. So you can probably guess which ones are going to be on that one.
Maliciously delicious, yes.
And then I have to do the voice every time I talk about the top one. This was just my idea. The top one I labeled Supreme Overlords. Do you want me to say it again?
I'm getting some ominous tones. Would you say that again, please?
I'll going closer. The top of my the Disney villain tier ranking is Supreme Overlords.
Supreme Overlords.
Yeah, or you could just say fascist dictators.
No, I like Supreme better.
What's the difference?
More ominous. It's more ominous when you whisper it like that. It's like, it's right next to your ear. This evil is so close. It's in whispering distance.
So I will be ranking them, and Neil said that the idea was for me to rank them, and then in the next video or like a future video, I'll go over what I've ranked, and then you guys can agree or to disagree to see what I.
Alright.
That's what I was.
Good planning. It's no
That's
wonder he put you in charge of this episode.
Yes, he did. So, like I said, that's pretty much Kronks in the Groove, guys.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.
We did this just to establish the fight.
I don't think there is a Neil's corner because Neil's not here. Neil's not here to do them Neil's merchandise corner unless you guys have any other ones.
I could avenge him. Impact part. I suppose Kronk's been selling some what those Funko Pop figures. There's been figures of him. There's been merchandise of Emperor's New Groove in the past. Kronk's been a character who's come around during a Disneyland segments. Neil would also say if there was a ride or attraction in Disneyland based on the movie we're talking about, what would it be? Thinking of Kronk.
Wait, are we still in the video or is it over?
Oh no, it's far from over. Because I have come up with an idea for a Disney cafe. They should make a new cafe with someone like Kronk as the main attraction.
Maybe, since doesn't 20th Century Fox own the rights to anime? Like, because they've done like 2 animes, like Dragon Ball Evolution, and I don't want to really talk about that, but they did lead a Battle Angel, so do they have the rights to more anime? Since, 20th Century Fox is owned by Disney.
Okay. What?
Yeah.
So Disney owns 20th Century Fox, and 20th Century Fox owns anime?
They own the rights, like, to adaptation, so I don't think they can probably.
If I remember correctly, there's also different anime companies, so that might depend on which companies that they own.
But
There's not because like anime in general isn't like owned by like one thing. There's multiple different companies that have their own anime studios.
I should remind you
that
that
is correct. That's
John
correct.
Lasseter and his team at Pixar were heavily involved with the English dubs of the beloved Studio Ghibli movies, so make that as you will.
Hello.
You know what's funny? That John Lasseter hated Lilo and Stitch, but he casted the Lilo as Chihiro in Spirited Away.
Chihiro.
Chihiro.
Yeah, we're going completely out.
Oh yeah, David Chase. She's also the girl from The Ring.
No shit.
Come play with him. We're going completely off topic from Kronk, but thank you for sharing the fascinating facts.
Holiday.
Yeah, it's fine. So my idea for a
Wait,
Disney
why
attraction.
did we make it all just about Kronk's New Groove instead of like other stuff too?
We're doing rides like based on the movie we just discussed, Kronk's New Groove.
Yeah,
So
usually Neil will ask some type of random question like, "Oh, if there's a ride at Disney Park, or if there's or in this case, I guess, if there's another, what sequel would you want from like a movie that hasn't been done yet for Disney?" And I was thinking like maybe another Alice in Wonderland, maybe.
Actually,
To be honest, just to go out of character, like, or out of like the video, they really should like focus on making Predator or like Alien rides since they now own 20th Century Fox.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess.
That's like the crow saying, "When I see an elephant fly, like if I see an Alien and Predator ride in Disneyland, I'm done. I'm gonna lose it. That's so ridiculous. I'm just imagining it, just alien bloody horror family attraction. Unless they're gonna make it adults only, but I have so many questions if they're actually gonna do that. But
But it definitely would make a lot of money.
I mean, I guess.
Actually,
Yeah.
their family-friendly imagery already has been burned up since Deadpool 3 is going to be rated R now.
Deadpool. Oh no! Don't let Deadpool taint the Disney
And
image.
also, technically, they did make The Rock in 1997. They did make The Rock.
Oh boy, Disney, what have you done?
No! Continue this path! Give me your family-friendly image! I'm sick of it! I'm sick of it!
So,
I'm sick of it! Be like anime! Be more like them! Be
if
less
I'm to
family-friendly.
establish more merchandise from Kronks New Groove as a ride, I would want to see a cafe similar to the one established in the Emperor's New Groove franchise. And it's funny you mentioned ideas for new movies because I think, to my knowledge, we literally had this conversation last night. In the early stages of the Emperor's New Groove, there was originally going to be a completely different movie called Emperor of the Kingdom of the Sun. It's going to be darker and grittier, but they changed it because their previous movies of a similar tone were not doing too well, and they wanted a change of pace, which is fair enough, and the Emperor's New Groove is still hilarious.
But, I think actually, if they were going to handle it like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and they're going to have, like, sidekicks, to make it mixed bag, I'm really glad they, avoided that,
Yeah. So they changed it because
because it had to be that family-friendly image.
Yeah. The original plan was to have like this sort of Prince and Pauper kind of film, and they scrapped it because it was too predictable. But they did have some fascinating development with Yzma, including a song of her own called "Snuff Out the Light."
Oh yeah, Snuff Out the Light. I did, and I learned all about this from Shaperless Productions.
Yeah,
he taught me about this actually.
There's
and I now listen to Snuff Out the Light thanks to him.
It's catchy. So if they were to make another live-action remake, I think.
And actually, wait, before you continue, did you know that I just discovered this that in the Emperor's New Groove, remember that song that guy was singing about, the Emperor, that only one song?
Yeah.
That does sound a bit like Snuff Out the Light.
Oh, yeah, so it does. Oh, yeah. Just as long as you don't throw out the groove. So if they were to make a live-action remake, I think they should go back to what they were doing with Kingdom of the Sun and do something with that. I think that would be cool to look into.
Yeah.
If Mulan is gonna be horrible, and if I'm gonna hate it, if I'm gonna just be bored by it, I'm just gonna be done with them forever. I'm just gonna be done. No more. I don't care about them.
Well, yes. As of recording this, Mulan, yes, indeed, has been released today, and will it be?
Oh, I saw it has 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has mixed reviews. Well, for now, we don't know. It might go down, but as of right now,
to defeat.
That song is not in the movie. You know that.
I don't care about that. Squidjedi. It's catchy. You're the saddest.
Well, I will say,
But you can bet before we're through, Mr. I'll make a man out of you. Boom.
I will say I do like Christina Aguilera's new song for the movie.
She
Loyal, Brave, True. I like that song.
She did Reflection in the original version,
Maybe
yes.
Crystal. And now she's back to do it again.
At least some cast members were returning.
Well, Christina Aguilera wasn't really a cast member.
No. But technically, she was Mulan when she was singing.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't. It was actually Leah Salong. She actually did the singing voice for Jasmine in Aladdin.
All right, that should summarize our Kronks New Groove. Join us next time. We'll talk more about stuff like, I don't know, maybe one of us will get the chance to see Mulan 2020, or maybe we'll just talk about how funny Candace Against the Universe is. Who knows?
Or maybe we might do zombies.